Okay, so our trip, they're going to be showing some slides up there, and they're pretty serious pictures, so just make sure you guys recognize that. I was asked by Juan to bring a team down, and so it's kind of funny because in my mind, it was a work trip. And one of the things that I really love to do, one of the things that really inspires me is serving. I love to serve. I love to help people move, even if it's hard work of changing a roof, doing something like that. It's really my heart. So Juan says, would you lead a trip down? And I'm like, sure, you bet. I'm going to grab some guys, and we are going to go to work. It's amazing how you think that's what God's going to have you do, but that's not what it is. It really wasn't about the work. I mean, we had a blast being with our team down there. I think we really bonded really strongly. But I had a hard time putting the team together. I really couldn't get a ton of people to sign up, but thankfully Jay volunteered to step in, and he started recruiting. And like Juan called us, he called us the SWAT team. And that was pretty humbling just because we were a really strong, effective team. We bonded really well. We had a great time. From day one, though, when we showed up, though, the work crew, so there's a crew that's hired to work and help build this addition onto the center. So they're all Hispanic, and the head guy, he goes by the term maestro, which means teacher. Now, he's very stoic, he points a lot, he yells some, but he's not very nice. At least he wasn't when we first showed up. You could tell that he was like, who are these gringos and what are you doing on my job site? They were told to accept us, that we would work with them, and but that really, the case was basically, they didn't like us. Until I tried to translate with him and he saw my phone. And I wish I would have had time to show you the picture, but there's a picture on my phone that one of my very dearest and best friends put on my phone. And it's Ryan. And Ryan is standing there like this, posing to me on my phone. And so I open up the phone, and Maestro, stoic, looks at that and, okay? He's looking at my phone wondering what in the world, so I translate and I said, well, it's my boyfriend. And that was it. That's when it all started. And I don't know if Eric Wright's here or whoever is here, but there's a few guys here. So then he asked me my name, and I said my name was Pablo. So guess what happened? Like every 10 minutes, this guy would yell, Pablo! Pablo! You know, I tear my pants, and I'm like, oh, no trabajo. Mueh, Pablo! He starts crying. I mean, this was absolutely epic. We bonded with those guys so well. It was absolutely amazing. But it was really about relationships. Brian's still my boyfriend. But anyway, we had a great time. We had a great time serving, and Jay had some amazing messages about relationships, and that's really what the trip was about.
Yeah, there's kind of a interesting picture of the whole experience. Was we kept wanting to see plans. Like, what are your plans? Where are your plans? About the third day in, finally there was this, in the rubble that we had thrown garbage on, there's this like bag, and he pulls out the plans finally and looks at them and puts a rock down and goes, here, dig the hole there. And it was just very loosey-goosey. It was, we were there very aggressive, trying to do work. We want to be productive, but it was kind of that idea of just let go with the flow. And God's hand was in it from the beginning. The people that were on the team, and even the message that God put on my heart, I'm talking to Juan, was all about relationships. So every time I talked, I would use some kind of theme about relationships, about the broken relationships between each other and between God. And God spoke through me, and this is not a brag on me, it was a brag on God powerfully. Even my message that I spoke, I normally, like when I speak on Sunday, I normally put in 60 to 80 hours to prepare for a sermon. I had 3 days to prepare for Matthew 23, and Barry can attest to how hard it is to find that path. And God just parted the sea and just gave me all the words to say. And I don't even know how he did it, because it doesn't work that way normally. So it was really great, and I think the keys about relationships with us is between each other. I learned a lot about a mission trip for men. We bonded so much. Just the struggles of life, raising adult kids, raising little kids, owning a business, a career, wives, all the things. And we would stay up late and talk and pray with each other. Those bonds were incredible. Between NOE students and the staff, just getting to stop and not have to work, but sit down and teach kids English and just listen to them, and the joy in their heart was incredible. And then, like Paul said, Time's up. Breaking the barrier between those guys, we can't explain to you how incredible that was. From the walls they had up to at the end of it, Johnny, who was actually, he's the architect, so he was actually in charge of the whole project. He wanted us to share our faith with them at the end. And so we had a lunch where we all got to share a little bit, and they shared with us. And they shared the same experience and much more emotional, and they were in tears about how that they didn't like us at the beginning either. Not didn't like us, but they were guarded. And then all of a sudden now we're friends, and they said we're friends for life, you know. And then I was able to share the gospel at the end of that lunch as well. So it was a really incredible trip that way. So I think it was pretty awesome, and I think we're going to do it again.
Absolutely.
So.
Ryan, I do love you, but Pedro said that I am in his heart. So still love you, buddy.